Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they live on autopilot, waking up tired, scrolling through a life that isn't theirs, and going to sleep with the same empty feeling. They wait for a magical moment of motivation, a spark that will change everything. But that spark is a lie. Motivation is a fleeting emotion. It's a guest that arrives unannounced and leaves without warning. You cannot build a life on it. The real foundation is discipline. Comfort is the enemy. It's the warm, soft trap that keeps you from your potential. The easy choice to scroll instead of read, to consume instead of create, to sleep in instead of rise. Each easy choice is a brick in the wall of your own prison. Discipline is the opposite. It's not about feeling good. It's about doing what you must, especially when you don't want to. It's the lonely hours you put in while the world is asleep. It's the 100th attempt after 99 failures. It's the quiet, daily war against your own weakness. There is no glamour in it. There are no crowds cheering you on. There is only you, the work, and the silence. It's you choosing to be the architect of your life, not its victim. Don't seek motivation. Cultivate discipline. Do the work, especially when it hurts. Do it in silence, and one day your results will make all the noise.
You chose the path of discipline. You embrace the silence, the repetition, the loneliness. But there's a part of the journey no one warns you about. The plateau. This is the great filter. It's the long, desolate stretch where your efforts feel meaningless, where the results you were promised are nowhere in sight. The world doesn't notice you. The needle doesn't move. This is where most people quit. They mistake the silence for failure. But discipline is not an exchange you make with the universe. It's a pact you make with yourself. It's in this emptiness that the real transformation occurs. The work stops being something you do and becomes who you are. The goal is no longer the outcome. The goal is to become the person capable of achieving it. Then one day, a crack of light, a small sign, an almost invisible signal that the ground beneath you has shifted. It's not the victory you imagined. It's quieter, deeper. It's a confirmation not of your talent, but of your identity. Soon, others will see the peak you've reached. They won't have seen the climb. They will call it luck. They will call it talent. They will call it a gift. They will ask for your secret. Let them. You in the silence, you know the truth. The work is never finished. The journey does not end.
And so, the noise came. The validation you thought you craved. The world, which was once silent, now sings your name. They celebrate the mountain you conquered, but they know nothing of the climb. And here, on the summit, you discover the final terrible truth. The prize is hollow. The feeling you chased is not here. You realize the true reward was not reaching the destination, but the person you had to become to get there. This is the final trap, more seductive than comfort, more crippling than despair, your own ego, the story they tell about you, the myth of the overnight success, the sweet, deadly poison of believing you have arrived. But the master understands that success is not a place to live. It is a waypoint, a moment of reflection before the next journey begins. They do not fall in love with the prize. They fall in love with the process, the struggle, the work. So you turn away from the applause. You let the noise fade. You find a new, blank page. You find a new mountain. Not because you have anything left to prove to the world, but because you have everything left to prove to yourself. Because the path is you mastered yourself. You conquered comfort, doubt, and ego. You stand at the peak, and for a moment, there is peace. But mastery is not an endpoint. It is a key, and it unlocks one final door. Beyond the self, there is purpose. You begin to see the world not as a landscape for your ambition, but as a garden that needs tending. Your discipline, once a tool for personal gain, is reforged into a tool for contribution. This is the final, heaviest burden. to see a future that no one else does, to have a vision that isolates you more than any failure ever could. But the master does not seek followers, they seek fellow builders. The greatest act of discipline is not to build an empire for yourself, but to lay the foundation for a world you may never see. To plant a seed for a tree whose shade you will never enjoy. It is the slow, thankless, and transcendent work of creating a legacy. Because, in the end, the ultimate purpose of shaping yourself into a force of nature is to then give that force away. To build something that will outlast you. To serve the work, not the self. The process is the prize. The journey is the destination. And the work is all there is. You think the story ends. That the summit is the last chapter. That a legacy is a monument, cold and finished. But you are wrong. Every legacy is a message in a bottle. A map left behind for another traveler, lost in a different storm. The work is never finished. It is only passed on. The noise of the world is relentless. But for the few who are listening for something else, the echo of the path can still be heard. A whisper of discipline, a ghost of a promise that there is another way. And so, a new journey begins. With the same clumsy first step, the same lonely nights, the same gnawing doubt. But this time, there is a map. A reassurance from an unknown guide that the plateau is not the end, that the silence has a purpose. The greatest masters do not create followers, they create other masters. They do not build monuments to themselves. They build a path for others to walk. The journey is not yours alone. It is the oldest story ever told, and it is waiting to be rediscovered.